Hey everyone, welcome. I have everyone muted to start with, just in case you have weird stuff going on in the background, but feel free to unmute yourselves because there are not very many people in this call. This is a brand new call we're doing. Um, and I will allow you guys to record this if you want. I'm recording it on our end as well, unless Laura disapproves. I'll put this up on our YouTube, have like a playlist out there. I think it'd be good to track over time. The focus won't let you unmute. Hold on. Let me fix that before I go on. There we go.
Freedom. How's it going?
Great. Hey, good to see you. Good to have some engagement in here. I didn't want to just talk to myself for an hour.
Yeah. Decided to come and
Um,
make it a little bit more interesting.
I love it.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon. Again, I am recording this, so just keep that in mind. You guys can record this yourselves too if you're too impatient to wait for us to get it up on YouTube. I am going to start by sharing my screen. And I'll show you how to get to our feature requests and our roadmap if you haven't been there yet. In your Closebot account, you can go over here to feature requests, and then you can get to the roadmap from here. Wow, this has gone up. Okay, so my plan on a weekly basis is to come in here, look through the feature requests, comment, prioritize, but we really are loaded for the next couple months. So I'm excited to go through what we're working on with all of you. I'll go through our in progress stuff and my estimates on timeline on this stuff. I'll go through our planned and timelines on the planned stuff, and I'll tell you what under review means. And then I'll open it up for questions. And we can even go through some of your feature requests maybe and see how they fit into the roadmap. Okay. So first of all, we're still in our push for stability. This means that even though things show as in progress in here, we have a hard stop on all features, so they're not allowed to touch any of these right now. Things that we're focused on are next week is knowledge base accuracy. There have been some instances where it's not as accurate as V1 or some accounts that aren't pulling in at all because of indexing setup, tech stuff I won't go into. But that's the focus for next week. This week, we have some things like how we handle delays and back-to-back message processing with how persona settings are set up. We have a good plan on that so that we optimize back-to-back message handling. And we have an update coming for AI off and tags that change before a response is set. So in some cases, specifically adding the tag AI off on manual reply, the bot will still respond once. And we have a fix for that that's being pushed today. So those are all the types of things that they're really prioritizing right now. In addition to that, though, we have some UI changes coming. So we have a total revamp on the conversations page, making it easier to troubleshoot. And I'd love to show you guys the plans for that. So you can plan ahead, know where we're going. Okay, this is a good example. So the goal is to make it so you guys don't really have to open the logs page most of the time. You should be able to see all the really important things from the conversation page, including the channel that it came in from per message, including documents that were referenced. Hovering over a document will show the document title and snippet from that document. And then we see these little icons both over messages for the agent and messages for the contact. When we hover over these, if they're blue, that means it's incomplete. And this icon means it's an objective. So here we see that when sending this message, it was working on 3 objectives. And hovering over these will show you what the title for each of those objectives are. If one is marked green, that means that this response satisfied, in this case, 2 objectives. Again, hovering over that will show you both the title of the objective and the value of the field that we updated. So you can really see a lot from this updated screen. These are a couple different ones. This is a delay node. If we're on a delay node, it's going to note it here. Again, hovering will tell you what the delay is, whether it's a variable or a time delay. You'll be able to see that. And then if we're pulling in availability from a calendar, you'll see a calendar icon. And again, hovering over that will show you the availability right here, just on hover, what availability it brought in and is working with in its context. Really excited for this because it's even hard for me to go in and troubleshoot some of these issues, yet alone our level 2 team, yet alone our level 1 team, and you guys. So everyone is going to benefit from this, our team and you. Other thing is follow-ups, the ability to see, again, what objectives a follow-up is going to be working on and the scheduled date, and you'll be able to edit the follow-up text if you wanted to. You will be able to edit the time that it's going to do the follow-up and even just delete the follow-up. So in addition to that, if you do have to go into the logs, we have an update coming to the logs. You may have seen that we already have HTTP requests in there again. Most people don't know what that means, but it helps our team and it helps some of our more advanced users. Also condensing stuff, so making more fit on one screen and highlighting what is an AI log. These both say examining objectives for completion, but each one is going to have a title that tells you a little bit about what this AI stage is doing. Are we checking objectives for completion? Are we determining the final response? So you know which ones to click into to troubleshoot different things. For you nerds out there like me, this is going to be super helpful. Not only can we see a request in here in our logs, we'll be able to copy the curl. So if you want to copy the curl and run it yourself in something like Postman to replicate our results, you can do that. This is primarily though for our support team so that they can come in here and do that. So with the rollout of this, you'll notice a couple things. Our support's going to be faster because it'll be more intuitive what's going on. You'll be able to troubleshoot things yourself way easier. And our support team is going to be more powerful. So they'll be giving better responses in support because we'll be arming them with the tools they need to troubleshoot things without involving the dev team. Okay, so that goes into some of the back-end stuff we're working on, some of the front-end stuff we're working on to get us through the next couple of weeks. So I'm thinking 3 weeks for this final stability push. We have this week that's focused on these back-end issues, next week that's focused on the knowledge-based stuff, and it's going to take 2 weeks to do all of this front-end stuff, cleanup. And then there's always overflow. So I'm putting the next week after that as overflow. That gets us to the end of July. So this stuff in progress really won't start full force until the end of July. Now, saying that, there are a couple things that we are going to work over the next 3 weeks as they have availability because we know it's super important. One of them being the white label. We know that's super important, and we really want to get the first phase of that out by the end of July, where you can change the site logo and color. That at that point will not include the domain. That's going to be for August. So by the end of August, you will be able to fully white label your client portal. And we're sorry it's taken so long. We really want to do things right and safe and secure. Which brings me to GDPR. GDPR is one thing, doesn't have a lot of votes, but it's really important to our European customers that our portal for clients be GDPR compliant. We have a couple minor things to work on to be able to claim GDPR compliance. So that's one of the things that by the end of July will be knocked out as well. This thing by the end of July will be knocked out as well. Right now, clients that go in can see all of the knowledge base items that you've uploaded. They can't modify them, but they should only be able to see the ones attached to their source. So that's getting modified quickly. Filtering conversations. Currently, when you go to the conversation page and click filter, you can filter by source to see only conversations from one source, but we're adding more filters like latest channel, the persona that was involved, the job flow that was involved, the latest direction of message, whether that be inbound or outbound, things like that. And then send messages is so easy and so highly requested. We'll probably try to get that out by the end of July too. On a statement action, when the agent reaches that and chooses to send a message, we're going to allow you to add an attachment if you want it to send an image at that stage. Highly requested and fairly easy for our team to do. So that's all by the end of July. Then we get to August. So for August, we have some sorting to our tables. So sorting job flows based on last modified date, descending and ascending based on title, ability to retest a response in the testing portal. This is going to be huge. So when you go to the testing portal and you type in a message, see the response, then if you want to go edit some stuff, come back, delete the latest response, and then try it again, instead of starting a brand new test session to try to get all the way back to that point and then testing. That'll just speed up the testing for you guys. Accepting voice notes through various channels. So if a voice note was received via text or WhatsApp, it would be able to listen to the voice note and then respond with text to the voice note. This one's super easy for us to accomplish, but UI team is pretty tied up over the next few weeks. So a toggle on the source level for a source to be able to disallow it from reacting to Instagram stories, and then like thumbs up, thumbs down on SMS and Facebook messages, that kind of stuff. And variable response speed. Right now in the persona settings, we have it's an input where you put the exact response speed you want. What we're going to do is change that to a radio button select. Do you want it to respond immediately, fast, medium speed, slow? Like we're going to have different options. That's going to be a range. And then we'll randomly pick within that range based on the length of message that it's trying to deliver. So it won't always be 10 seconds or always, it'll vary more like a human would. And that really gets us to the end of August. Last one by the end of August, and this is probably the biggest one in this list aside from white label, is a notification system. So we have different things that could happen, like AI provider issues being probably the main one. If an AI provider issue happens, first of all, by the end of this next week, you'll be able to go to your AI providers and see the latest issues with your AI providers and what the issue was. Like if you went to AI providers and saw an issue for OpenAI, you could click it and see that you're getting rate limited. And then it'll have suggestions. Oh, if you're getting rate limited with OpenAI, here's what you do to increase your trust tier. So we're going to help you out with that. But also a master notification area where notifications for AI providers and your sources and other Closebot internal notifications will show up in the top. In your settings then, soon after this, you'll be able to turn on text and email notifications as well if you want to get texts or emails when errors happen within your account. And I really see that, so end of August, as the foundation. That's when finally the full vision of what the foundation of Closebot was going to be is going to be out there and working and highly stable. We're building this so that you guys trust it. I don't know if you guys saw my live yesterday, but trust is the biggest thing for us right now. Quick and easy to build and trustworthy. So this all goes toward trust. Okay, then that brings us to planned. So this is by the end of August. Some of this stuff will start in August, but will not be completed in August. This is HubSpot integration, webhook integration, two big things. So we're looking at September for release of these, probably early September, since they'll start working on it during this. And that's when we start to branch out. That's when you guys can start building for other CRMs. You'll no longer have to convince people to hop into high level, switch their whole CRM to be able to build for them. HIPAA compliance has been widely requested. We didn't want to start it in V1 because we knew we were building V2. The way this is going to look, it's going to be an add-on similar to how High Level does it. And when you add this on, you'll get access to Closebot's AI providers. Do we have anyone in doing HIPAA stuff in here? Let me know in the chat, unmute, raise your hand. Let me know somehow. And that'll determine how deep I go into how we're going to handle this. Checking the chat. Okay, I don't see anyone. But for people watching the recording, this will unlock HIPAA compliant AI providers through Closebot. So you'll be paying Closebot's token usage, which is going to be 1-for-1, no markup, exactly what you were paying to OpenAI, except it's going to pay to Closebot. And we will hold the BAA with OpenAI, with Anthropic, so that you don't have to. And then any persona that is using only HIPAA compliant AI providers are going to have a HIPAA compliant badge on them. So if you have a HIPAA compliant person, you'll want to make sure you're using these providers that are HIPAA compliant stamped. Sticky notes in our builder. So the ability to create sticky notes in the drag and drop job flow builder to keep notes. And then further optimization on our knowledge base. I'm really excited about this one. The ability to add Notion and Google Drive and other live databases as a source in your knowledge library. So you could connect to a Google Drive folder, and even though that information is always changing, this would reflect those live changes from Google Drive. And same for Notion. You know, if your clients want to connect to a Notion, or you have a Notion for you or your clients, you could connect Notion as a source or as a knowledge library source for your agents to be able to pull knowledge from. And allow email footers and email messages in your source settings, allowing your client to put in the footer that they want their agent to include in emails if they're using the email channel. All those ones I listed are ones that'll be in work in September. In October, that's when we start getting to work on our embeddable chatbot So the embeddable widget Closebot internal, so you don't have to use the high level one if you don't want to. And that's when we'll also start working on our lightweight CRM capabilities. So it kind of goes hand in hand with us becoming standalone at that time. Our goal is not to be in everything for everyone's CRM. Don't think we're getting distracted. We just want people to be able to use Closebot alone if they want to. We want you to be able to sell Closebot to clients, even if they don't have a CRM. And HubSpot would be overkill and high level would be overkill. Maybe they're a roofer and they really just want a chatbot on their website. You'd be able to do that for them, rebuild through Closebot and not need other softwares. As well as dark mode. I know I, for one, love dark mode. I have my dark office here, and white screens hurt my eyes. So I'm excited for that. Okay, so that was a lot, and that gets us out really through the end of October. What questions do you guys have on things I've covered here?
Love the, love the
Right.
update.
Sorry, go again.
I think I cut somebody off, so I'll let them go first.
Oh, thanks, Trevor. So, Bryce, in the logs, right, when you show the changes all to the logs, are you going to show the version the bot was used for that message? So if you make changes and then you go back in history and you look at it, you'll know against what version of the job flow that ran against.
That's a really good idea.
I think we were talking to Jared the other day too, and he was looking at that and he thought he was there. And I said, no, I make changes and I have no idea if
Which
the
version
conversation's
it's using.
going. Yeah.
Yes, that would be helpful.
Cool.
Let me make sure I note that for our team. Oh, that would have to be on a per message, maybe in the info. So we're going to have this info. Let me find what we include in there. Yeah, I'll just make a note for the team. Okay. Yep, really good input. Trevor drew a picture.
Yeah, it was. I know you did a training on this a long time ago, um, and on how to do this. We're using our webinar kit,
Yep.
and um, we don't use their chat system. We were using at the time we were using ZappyChat, but I'm a customer of ZappyChat and I'm a customer of Closebot. I had both systems full pay. And I was using ZappyChat for all my main. I mean, I was using Closebot for my main stuff, and then I was using ZappyChat just for my live chat part because I needed to be able to use the chat feature as sort of like a standalone embed without the person having to trigger it.
Mhm.
I think you might have answered this, but I was grabbing a drink of water, so you might have already answered this. So apologies if you already answered this. But
Okay.
just kind of get a live chat feature, or maybe the video where I think you did a video where you like a year ago where you showed a little bit of complex JavaScripting to try to make the same thing happen. You know,
Yeah, we're gonna do embeddable chatbot. That'll be, so this is what you want to keep your eye on. Go to the feature requests, make sure to follow this by commenting on it or voting
Mhm.
it. That'll be around October when that is released. And soon after will be, I say soon after, before the end of the year, our lightweight CRM functionality. So that
Okay.
you
Oh,
could,
that'll make that really cool.
yeah,
Okay.
you could see all those contacts drop into Closebot and push them to other platforms if you wanted, or just keep them internal to Closebot.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah,
Um, I did get a chance to play around with all of the new V. I finally took the leap into V2. So
good.
I do love the simplicity of really setting it up. I was like, wow, this thing is really easy after you you got to put yourself in bot therapy to let go of all the old
Yeah.
gigantic micro prompts. But after you get out of bot therapy, you're pretty okay.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. I know it was probably pretty stressful for you. Like you were probably in the worst of all situations in that you had to learn V1 and you had to learn Zappy Chat. And now like neither of those are what you're going to be using. You have to learn a new platform. So thank you.
Yeah, but it's simpler.
There's
I
no
mean, it's
V3, by the way. Like this is
it's simple.
what we're continuing to build on.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I know that I think we're now in the era of my per message pricing, but for founders, it's a different pricing, correct?
Yeah, for our founding members and early adopters, they have a $0 per message through Closebot. Now they still pay AI provider fees.
Oh, good. So I'm in that list because I've been with you guys in the early beginning days. So I'm feeling good.
Good.
Okay. All right.
And
Okay.
Christian,
yeah, on that, where does the so I was someone so I'm from Zappy Chat like originally, and then
welcome.
I was thank you. It's been an interesting journey because like technically I was like I was one of the first people who joined on Zappy Chat, and that's when I started my journey in like 2023. And then like I kind of just like let it sit. I built it, had a couple clients, and then I had like a opportunity that came up. It fell through like earlier this year, and like I was like, okay, cool. Let's get my AI like SaaS off. Like let's actually take this seriously. But then I was like, I bet I have like all this stuff to catch up on with like that I've missed out on Zappy Chat. And like I check, I'm like, oh, they actually haven't like added anything new in the past 6 months. That's an indicator. I should go look at some. And I started doing research on Closebot. And literally like the week before like the same week that I was doing all this research on Closebot, the announcement came that they're merging. I was like, oh, well, this is really cool. And then um yeah, and then I life kind of got a little bit crazy, and now I'm jumping like back into it. So like this is really good to get a good idea on like where it's at, where I'm at. Um my biggest issue is like I really just don't know where to start on this. It's like kind of my biggest thing is just trying not to be like overwhelmed with like
Yeah.
yeah with because like there's so many. I'm seeing like a lot of possibilities of stuff and a way to take my services a lot farther than I have been. Um, but it's just like, oh, okay, how do I where do what do I start on?
Yeah.
Like,
Have you had
yeah.
your Zappy Chat success call?
Mm-mm. If it's not like a personal one, I hopped
It's
on
a
one.
one-on-one,
Yeah, I haven't.
one-on-one call.
I tried
Trevor, have you been on that
asking.
too?
No, but I'm excited to now know that I get another benefit.
Let's Laura, can you message Christian and Trevor a link where they can sign up for that call?
That would be
I'll
sick.
give you some time too to find that. We have 29 minutes left on this call, so
Okay.
sorry, I just dropped that on you. At least don't drop off at least for 29 minutes or for a couple minutes until Laura gets that to you guys. And that's a good place to start because that's at least going to be an onboarding call is what it's designed for to Closebot. And they'll show you around. You can ask them some questions and think about it a little bit more in a one-on-one scenario. And if you've already been in Closebot a little bit, they'll be able to answer more detailed questions for you too.
Right
So that's a
on.
good resource.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Okay. I have some other things over here in under review. These are things that are important to me, to us, but I don't really know when they're fitting into the timeline. One of them that I'm excited about is milestones. This will be an agency feature that you guys will get with your agency account that allows you to automatically bill through Closebot your client at a certain point in the lead conversation journey. So imagine a lead comes in or you're doing a DBR and the lead becomes fully qualified. If you want to bill $10 to clients for fully qualified leads, this would process that for you automatically.
Ooh.
It would deduct from their wallet at that time. And remember, all of their payments to their wallet go to your Stripe. So that is something I'm excited about. You'll be able to create different types of milestones. So maybe you have a fully qualified milestone and a partially qualified. And maybe the partially qualified one is $1 and the fully qualified is $10. You'll easily be able to set those at different points in the conversation to bill different amounts based on how you're qualifying leads for your customers at scale. Yeah, I'm excited for that, Trevor. And I feel like that is, when we release that, that's going to show people why we've focused on building things the way we have. The marriage of agents and flows. If you have a pure agent system that's just a prompt and no guidelines, no guardrails, building clients at certain stages in a lead journey is not going to be reliable and is going to cause a lot of headache and possibly legal recourse for businesses. But because Closebot is built the way it is with our guardrails, this becomes possible. So you'll see a lot of companies starting to go this flow-based route, and it's really exciting to be on the forefront of this. Okay, we can go into feature. Does anyone have feature requests in here already that they want me to investigate?
No, I'm gonna add LinkedIn Messenger onto because I'd use a separate AI chat system to chat in my LinkedIn Messenger, but I'm gonna add it to the feature requests so that I can just kind of bring everything under one umbrella.
Sure, yeah, add it in here. We won't do LinkedIn Messenger until they release a supported API for that. All the people that are doing LinkedIn Messenger, and add it to it for sure. Because if they do open that up, then we'll connect to it when we have our lightweight CRM stuff available. But until then, the people that are doing it are using non-supported ways that can get these LinkedIn accounts banned.
Ew.
And we don't want to be a part of that because it just takes our focus away from the core product and onto managing account banning stuff through workarounds. But add it to it, and if they end up supporting it, we'll add it. Okay, let's start with the top and work our way down, see if there's anything not. So this is a big one. Voice call. This is third in the list and it's not on our roadmap. It was, I removed it. Um, we're so focused on the core right now that this doesn't fit in over the next over this year for sure. And with the amount of stuff that I have planned that I haven't covered, I don't even see it as part of Q1 or Q2 or probably Q3. If we are going to do it, it wouldn't be until last half of this upcoming year. There's so much fun stuff for us to tackle on the text side alone. You know, with milestones being a big thing, billing your clients at milestone levels and reporting and split testing. We haven't even talked about the possibilities behind split testing to see how different personas lead to different conversions. You know, which persona is driving more um, milestone conversions, more qualified leads, and reports around all that stuff. So you guys, as the agency, can slowly start to optimize these systems for your customers and for your revenue. Editing bot responses is high on the list. There are other platforms I know that allow you to like modify bot responses and have it learn from that. And the way they do this ends up degrading AI performance over time, which is why we don't do it. If something changes and we are able to incorporate that into like fine tuning instead of context window and make it actually work, that's something that we would look into, but not until that time. This shop, since our focus is providing a platform for agencies to build agents they can trust quickly and easily, the shop really doesn't play into that very well. Quick and easy, yes, a little bit, but giving the agencies the ability to build quickly and easily, agents they can trust. That's kind of none of those things. While it's exciting and is going to come, the ability for you guys to make agents that you can sell on a marketplace that we have, we need to focus on our core vision right now and make this a super trustworthy platform that's super easy to use. This one is actually done. With me going through these, is it raising any questions with people?
Hey, Bryce.
Definitely giving me some clarity.
On the conversation summary, one thing that I did notice, and I think I put this in as a feature request too, talk to Jared about it a little bit, but it is summarizing everything that was sent beforehand. So like, for instance, we don't have AI respond to emails, but if a static email goes out, that's all brought in to the conversation from high level. And then whenever a summary occurs, it's summarizing that email and everything else. So I had put in there, it'd be great if we could utilize summarizing per the channels that we're having AI respond to. Do you know anything about that?
That'd be really easy for us to do.
Because it's just weird when you get those summaries and it's like talking about an email that wasn't even part of the conversation. You know what I mean?
Would you like it to automatically summarize? Maybe the default could be the channels that you have it responding to,
Right.
and you could modify in the advanced settings.
That would be great.
Where's your feature request?
I
What
have
is it called? Summary.
probably, yeah, it's probably called something summary.
This one?
Probably up there. Yep.
I'm just putting this comment here for myself, and then I'm going to add it to the roadmap for in progress, because this would be really easy for them.
Perfect. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, very good. Move it to in progress. White label. One of the reasons why this has taken so long with software, you have all these unknown unknowns. And with that, we realized we need to set up our site for something called internationalization before we can do white labeling the way we want to, which is like all the text on our site, setting it up as variables so we can set up our site to be multilingual. You may have noticed in Closebot, we have this flag here. We are going to allow you to change the site language. And because of the amazing work our developers have done, that's tied into the white labeling stuff in such a way that we need both of those to be done. So some people are asking like, oh, why was it going to be done at a certain time and then now it's pushed out so far? That's one of the reasons why. Another reason why is because our developers are all previous cybersecurity professors, and the domain changes, the way a lot of people handle that just isn't secure, especially if you're going to be claiming HIPAA, SOC 2, GDPR compliance. We need to make sure that's done the right way now so we don't have to rework it when we go to get some of these extra enterprise levels of compliance. Okay, Laura, did you get the link to Trevor and Christian?
I dropped it in the chat and tagged you guys.
Yep, I got it.
Perfect.
Cool. Other roadmap related questions, company future vision,
A
or
quick
even just
question.
running a business.
I get this question a lot. We have people that have like Shopify stores, and their knowledge base would be basically a CSV or Google Sheets of their products and sometimes the pricing. Is there any like feature where we don't have to keep deleting their knowledge base and uploading it? Maybe a feature for with like some type of self updating sort of, I guess, database, or if it's a Google sheet we can constantly just keep checking, maybe daily to see if there's any updates, any possibility of something like that.
Yeah, that'd go along with the live database and like Google Drive push,
Yes.
Notion as a source, that kind of stuff. But we could
Yeah.
also see if like Shopify could be a knowledge base source as well. Let me see if they have webhooks on changes to store. Yep. So we would go ahead and add a feature request for that. So what that would
Okay.
look like, guys, is when you come into the knowledge library, first of all, this UI is changing too. So let me show you the Figma. When you come in here, you can create a note, scrape a website, or do an upload. We'll add to this and you'll have Google Drive. You'll have Shopify in this case, Notion, and that would allow you to connect to a Notion, connect to a Google Drive location, connect to a Shopify store, and then tie sources to those knowledge library locations.
And a question on that to add on to that, if I could. And maybe this will be covered on my call on Monday, but so when it comes to like the knowledge library, is it the personas that reference it or the job flows that reference the knowledge library? And
Good question.
yeah,
Think of an agent as a combination of a job flow and persona.
Mhm.
Right? So that is one entity. And that entity is doing work for sources. These are linked to sources. So if this entity maybe is working across 100 different gyms, each one of those gyms might have a different website. So you link the different websites to the different sources, and then when the assistant is doing the job for that source, that's the information it's pulling in into its knowledge. So think of it as linked to a source.
Got it. Okay, yeah, that makes it clear. And then I know you'd mentioned it. It's when the webhook integration gets released, that's when um partnering with other like CRM systems and things like that becomes possible. Is that
Yeah, right.
what was the time frame on that one?
September.
Around September. Okay, cool. Because I was curious because like so the way that I've set it up currently is like two main like bots and like one's like if they use Go High Level or they have a two-way integration, it's like full booking bot. But then for the ones that want the lead nurturing automation, but we can't book the appointments because they don't want to integrate or whatever, which is most people, unfortunately, at least in
Yeah.
my space. Um, like I had built like this like almost booking bot, which is like just get the conversation to like find out like their preferred morning or afternoons, and then day of the week that's like best for them, and then tag a human. And so like what I was just curious on like is like with that on the roadmap, should I bother creating that same kind of like almost booking bot as one of the job flows, or if I should just focus my attention more on longevity, big picture build out.
Yeah, there wouldn't even really be a way to do it without our webhook integration. It really only connects to high level
Yeah.
for V2. When we do release that in September as well, that's when we'll be releasing our other type of booking actions like our Zoom webinar action to conversationally book to Zoom webinars, conversationally book to Calendly, and just a raw Google Calendar too. So imagine this is where it's exciting for us because we use Zoom webinars and we use Calendly and we use HubSpot meetings. So if we could conversationally determine, does this person need an onboarding call? Do they want to be in a webinar or do they want to attend one of our sessions like this? We could route them to Calendly. They wouldn't know they're being routed. They're just conversationally being booked to our Calendly, to our Zoom webinar, to our HubSpot meetings. And that'll be really important for the webhook integration because then you won't have to almost book.
Yeah.
The goal is for you to actually be able to conversationally book through webhook to, as long as they're using one of our action type calendars, Google calendars, Calendly, Zoom webinars.
And so with that, their existing CRM would still need to be able to book into Google calendars or have a two-way sync, or no, there would be a worker it can go around.
We would have that sync with Google. And then when they come in, so let me talk you through how this would happen. You go into your agent, you would create a job flow that would be a webhook type job flow. And then it's not going to have this GHL booking action. It would have, just imagine this says Google Calendar booking. And you'd set up some settings within here, like the duration of the meeting and the time limits, maybe only 9 to 5 or whatever, or probably not even that. You just set up the duration of the meeting. And then when your client goes into their source settings, so here they have some settings that they can modify. Same as variables. If you have variables set up for them to fill out, it's going to see that you're using a Google Calendar action. And here's where they would click to connect to their Google Calendar. So every client can come in here and connect their own Google Calendar that your agent would conversationally book to.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
Really great questions. Anything else for me?
Not for me. No. Like, I mean, I've got a million things, but no. Like, uh,
If it's related to like the future of where we're going and the roadmap, I'm more than happy to stick on for, I have 8 more minutes. If you have more questions, don't feel bad asking. Now's the time for
Oh,
those type of
great.
questions.
Hey, Bryce, I got one
Um,
more question. It's just really
Yeah.
about the I think you might have mentioned this, but I got on the call 5 minutes late. The knowledge base of where it's at in terms of like being completely stable and ready to go. Because right now I'm pumping a bunch of information into the important business information. Um, did you mention that? And if so, I missed it. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, no problem. This week they're focused on I listed some other items, but the knowledge base is the focus of next week.
Oh, next week. Okay.
Yeah. That's definitely priority for us. We have a couple people with tickets. So we'll dig into that next week and get stuff optimized.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
gotcha. Hey, Bryce, on the rebilling side, I just wanted to, if to bring a client in for rebilling, we need to set them up first as a user first, and then we need to send them invoice, or how does that process really work? Especially as we want to start billing people for knowledge base and things like that.
Yeah, you'll invite the user and make sure you select a client and then
Okay.
add them to one of your sources.
Okay.
And then the billing happens through a source.
Mhm.
So at that time, you'll go and make sure you set up your rebilling stuff, the amounts you want to rebill for. And then when they'll get an email to join. And when they join, they'll see their client portal and they'll be able to come in. It's going to say agents for them. They'll be able to click agents and modify it's like for them, it's an agent job flow source combination, but they just think it's an agent because they don't know what sources are and job
Yeah.
flows and personas. So they'll just see one thing. They go to the settings and here's where they will be able to put in their wallet information. They'll have a screen in here. You'll be
Perfect.
able to turn on rebilling for any of these sources as well. And if you're ever curious about what it looks like for someone, you can go into users
Mhm.
and we can impersonate the user. So this is a user in my account. I can impersonate him and see it how he sees it. This is not a client type user. This is a teammate user. So he sees everything I do. But if
Okay.
you're curious, you can go in and you can even set up stuff for them. If they're like, you know what, I'm lost. I don't know how to edit my variables. You can be like, hey, no problem. I'll go do it for you.
Got it. Perfect.
Man, so many
I
good
checked out
questions.
some of your blogs. They were really good, by the way.
What's that?
I checked out some of the blogs. They were really good.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. I put so much time into those. I'm actually writing one today or tomorrow on how allowing your AI to give an explanation to its answer, even when you don't care about its explanation, helps improve results. So in an example that we were troubleshooting, we were having the AI analyze a conversation and see when we needed to follow up with a customer. And it was just picking obviously the wrong time. The person said, I'll see you in a month, and it was picking it for tomorrow as a follow-up. But we were explicitly saying, do not include any explanation. However, when we changed it to say, include a very short explanation, it picked the right time every time. As in this example, a month out, it was going to follow up with this person. Just really interesting stuff.
Oh, that is quite interesting. Two things, Bryce. Because I know you got limited time. one, I did send you a private message when you get a chance to take a look at it. But the next question was, I noticed, and this might have just been a flaw in what I was doing. I was having the AI send a link to where a person can purchase, but it in the message, but it would never actually send the link. It always would say, "I'm going to send you the link by email." Whenever you used AI to try to send the official link, so is
I
there
would
something that
always, if you're going to send links, do it this
yeah.
way. If you want to have AI say something,
Hmm.
tell them we are going to send them a link. Use AI to say that one, so at least it works it in conversation. And then another statement right after it. And it's going to move on without a response. So it's automatically going to send this next one too.
Perfect.
Put the actual link in a second one, and then go on to your next node from there.
Gotcha. I was one of the problems I figured out because I was doing a lot of Facebook Messenger ads and letting the bot take over. All of our clients do that. I got to bring over. But when you run a Facebook Messenger ad, I couldn't figure out because they got different ads for different things, how to get the bot to respond. Because in the Facebook Messenger ad, as soon as the person hits they're interested, it sends them a message and the person responds. But I think what I'm gonna do is just put a switch right after the starter, and I think that solves my problem.
Yeah, probably. I know some
Yeah.
people doing that.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks for confirming.
Mm-hmm. I was just checking out our leaderboard. Okay, you guys are
Alrighty.
awesome. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for this, Bryce. It was great meeting you, and I'm looking forward to building some cool stuff.
You too. Yeah, this will be every week as long as I'm not out of office. Sometimes I am out of office and it'll block it off. But
Yeah.
thank you for bearing with me. I know I had this set up for last week and the Zoom link wasn't getting sent out, so I had to cancel it last minute. But our calendar, we completely redid our business in 6 months. So we're just now like getting all the systems dialed in. Appreciate the patience for everyone. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Okay.
Yeah, right
Thank
on.
you.
Bye,
See you
everyone.
there.